Welcome to the Manga Forge. Today I'll be going over writing and where to start. Before you start writing, come up with a theme. Here is a list of 10 common themes that you can choose for your manga. Love. An anime that uses this as its theme is Your Lie in April. It explores love and how even if it's lost, its memory remains. Good versus evil. An example is Death Note. It explores the power of choice and the complexity of morality. Identity and self-discovery. An example would be Paranoia Agent, how identity can change under stress and what society wants from us. Power and corruption. An example is Code Geass, how noble ideas can easily become corrupted. Survival. An example is The Promised Neverland. It goes over how to adapt to a harsh reality and the sacrifice it takes. Freedom versus control. An example is Steins Gate. It asks, can people truly control their destinies, or are you bound by fate? Redemption. An example is Hunter x Hunter. Killua's quest to move away from his violent upbringing. Coming of age. An example would be Anohana, where the protagonist faces the past to move forward and gains emotional maturity. Justice or injustice. An example is The Seven Deadly Sins. It deals with how to deal with justice when everyone has their own idea of what's right. And then finally, we have grief and loss. An example is one of my favorite movies, Silent Voice, which deals with grief from guilt. Now that we've picked one of these themes, we can create a thematic question. A thematic question is an open-ended question that explores the deeper meaning behind a story's theme. It's the kind of question a story tries to answer through its plot and characters. Now, I'll make this quick and just flash on the screen here some examples of thematic questions for each of the themes I mentioned earlier. There's multiple ways to tackle a theme, but this is just to give you ideas. Once we've decided a theme and thematic question, we can set some goals for our protagonist. Start with the theme. What is the story really about? For example, if your theme is identity, maybe your protagonist's goal is to find where they belong. 2. Give them a clear external goal, something tangible they want to achieve. An example of this is for them to win a tournament, rescue someone, escape a war zone, or become the top hero, like Deku from My Hero Academia. 3. Add an internal goal, something they might not fully realize at first, like healing, redemption, or finding self-worth. This is what ties them to the emotional arc and theme. 4. Make the goal personal. The more emotionally charged it is, the more invested the reader will be. Ask, why does this goal matter so much to them? What happens if they fail? 5. Create obstacles and moral dilemmas. The goal should be hard to achieve, forcing the character to grow or change. Test their values, relationships, and beliefs. The end of your story should have your protagonist finding the answer to their thematic question through a mix of experience, failure, growth, and change. Here's how to structure that journey. First of all, make the thematic question personal. Tie it directly to your protagonist's internal conflict. If the theme is, can someone truly change, then the protagonist must be someone who either needs change or fears it. 2. Use the plot to test their beliefs. Every major plot event should challenge their assumptions about the theme. Put them in situations where they're forced to make hard choices tied to that question. 3. Use side characters as mirrors or contrasts. Allies or enemies can reflect different sides of the thematic question. Some might embody the wrong answer, tempting the protagonist. Others might model the right path, even if it's hard. 4. Make failure part of the journey. Your protagonist should fail or make mistakes that bring consequences. These low points help them realize what matters most and often push them toward clarity. 5. Let the climax answer the question. The final act or moment of choice should force them to decide what they now believe. Their actions in the climax are the answer to the thematic question. 6. Reflect the answer in the resolution. Show the result of their decision, how they've changed, what they've learned, or what they've accepted. Even if it's bittersweet, it should feel like closure to the theme. In a future episode, I'll show you how to script the story using the framework we covered in this video. Thanks for watching and subscribe for more.